Hello! Welcome to the daisy chain tutorial. You'll need beads, thread, and a needle. To measure your thread, grab the end, stretch it out, and measure it to your heart and cut. It should be about the length of your arm. Your daisy chain is gonna end up looking something like this. There's the little daisies on it. And I want it to be long enough to be able to be made into a bracelet. Depending on the size of your wrist, that'll be 6 to 8 to 9 inches. All right, let's start by threading your needle. And just as before, leave a little bit extra here. Don't tie a knot. Don't go like this. Don't do this, and don't tie that knot. Because what we want is we want to be able to lengthen this and shorten it, which will make it easier to work with, and knots and thread don't go well through our tiny seed beads. You're gonna have 3 colors, one color for the stem, one color for the petals, and one color for the center. Unfortunately, I only have 2 colors, so my stem and center colors will be the same. Our first step is to secure one bead onto the end so they don't all go falling off the end. Grab a stem color. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be a green stem. Mine is going to be purple. Just one single bead. Go almost all the way to the end. And then we are going to tie a little knot just to secure it. And I want to tie my knot with only an inch or 2 of thread hanging off. We need some thread so that you can attach some sort of a clasp to it later on, or tie it onto something. But we don't want too much because then you're wasting all this thread and you might run out of thread. Oops, it stuck to my finger. Okay, there's our first one. Your stem is going to be anywhere from 1 to 4 beads. So I'm going to call that one my first one, and I'm going to pick up 3 purples because I'm doing a 4. Actually, I'll do 3. I'll take one of those off. To take one off, go back through it the direction you came from, and it just comes right off. Here's what it's going to look like. 3 stems. You can go as low as 2 or 1, that's up to you visually. That's just going to be the beads in between the daisies. 4 petals and 1 center. I've got 3 stems. I'm going to add on 4 petals and 1 center. Our next step is to go through that first one, and the direction that you go through is very, very important. So find the 4 petals that you added on, find the one closest to the stem, and you're gonna come at it from the direction of the other petals. Don't enter in from this side, don't enter from the stem side, because it won't look right. I'm gonna show you what wrong looks like and what right looks like. Here are my 4 petals. And I'm going to go the wrong direction, starting from the stem. And this is incorrect because now the rest of my beads are going to be coming out from between 2 petals, and I actually don't want that. I want the beads to come out on this side so I can fill in the rest of my daisy. I'm going to undo it and try again. This time, find your first petal, come at it from the direction of the other petals, just go through that 1 bead, and pull through. As you pull, keep it tight and close to the stem before it. We don't want any spare thread. Oops. We don't want any spare thread between the stem and the flower. Okay, so I can tell that this is correct because the thread is coming out in that space between the petal and the stem. And now my next step is to add 2 petals. Here are my 2 petals. Next up, we are going to go through yet another petal. We've already done this step, so we're taking those 2, we're taking that thread, and we're going up and through the last petal up here. So find the petal. I'm going to try and orient this correctly. Here we go. Okay. Find the petal that's farthest from the stem. So it should look something like this. Stem, center, and then here's the farthest petal. Or if you want to look at it another way, stem, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going through the 4th. Once again, the direction really matters. I don't want to come from the outside in, because then these beads will end up on the outside of that side, and I need to fill in. Do you see this empty gap right here? There's the empty gap. We need the petals to be on this side, so I need to come from this direction, from the direction of the center, and pull through. There's our first daisy. Now I did some things at the end there, kind of put my finger on this side of it, and then I took my thread and I went pull, pull, pull. And what that does is it gets it nice and tight up next to the stem. If you don't do that, it may float out here. Do you see how now I've got a floating stem? I've got a lot of extra thread. So put your finger on this side of it and pull it down, 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 down toward the stem. It's your final step, pull tight and add more beads. Your daisy chains are coming right along. Keep going until it's long enough to wrap around your wrist.